So here we are, we're on transfer deadline day, but we know this one has been coming for quite a while. Manchester City have announced the signing of Julian Alvarez from River Plate. Álvarez is just 22 years old and he's been lighting it up in Argentina for River Plate over the last couple of seasons, and City have been keeping an eye on him for a long time. He joins for 16 million euros with bonuses that could amount to around 1.5 million euros. So all in, if everything goes River Plate's way, I suppose, he's going to cost us about 17.5 million euros, which is about 14 million pounds. Straight away, people have taken to social media to compare Julian Alvarez to Sergio Aguero, who is probably the best player to ever play for our club and the best foreign player to ever play in the Premier League. So I think it's quite cruel to compare such a young player to such an incredible legend of our club. Sergio Aguero signed for City in 2011, and in his 10-year period at the club, he played 390 games, scoring 260 times, which is 2 goals every 3 appearances, a ridiculous achievement. Not only did he score goals, but he scored very important goals for this club. There's too many to name, there's too many trophies to count, but this guy is the definition of a legend, which is why we shouldn't compare Álvarez to him. So let's start fresh and let's talk about Álvarez. We'll start with Cheeky, the club director, and he's going to be one of the key people that actually brought Julian Alvarez to Manchester City. And here are his thoughts. He said, "Julian is a player we've monitored for some time. He's capable of operating a number of attacking roles, and we firmly believe he's one of the best young attacking players in South America. I'm so happy that we've managed to bring him to Manchester City. I really believe we can provide him with the right conditions to fulfill his potential and become a top player." These words really excite me because we've been monitoring this player for a very long time, first of all, and also he can occupy a number of attacking roles, and as well as this, he needs the right conditions to develop. Cheeky knows what he's doing here because he's signed young players in the past, and I think those right conditions are referring to Pep Guardiola as a manager. We have seen his work on young players such as Raheem Sterling in the past, and look at what a great player he's developed into. Now, Sterling is another player as well that can occupy a number of attacking roles, just like Cheeky mentioned with Álvarez, and I think fluidity in positions is something that Pep Guardiola really enjoys. Somebody like Sergio Aguero was an absolutely ridiculously good player for Pep Guardiola. But the one issue, the one flaw he has is the fact that he can only really play in one position, which is a central forward role. Now, Álvarez, if he can occupy maybe a wing position, a right wing, a left wing, a forward, an attacking midfield position possibly, that is something that Pep Guardiola can work with and produce a really, really good player, just like Raheem Sterling. And in recent years too, we've seen a similar development with Phil Foden, somebody with enormous potential. Pep Guardiola said he'd never seen a player like him at the age of 17 when they first met. And Phil Foden is developing still, but he's increasing his work rate every year. He's becoming better every year. His performances are improving. And that is down to Pep Guardiola's work with Foden. And this developed ability he now has to play in multiple positions. It makes him a very fluid player. And it makes it very good for squad rotation and also tactical changes within games. Back to Álvarez now. First of all, I think this is a great signing. And this guy has played 96 times for River Plate since making his debut in 2018. And he's scored 36 goals and got 25 assists during that time, which is great, bearing in mind he was very young when he first started playing for them. Football is not just about stats though anyway. Regardless of whether his stats are good or not, if City get the eye for a player with great potential, somebody that plays well, somebody that Pep Guardiola might recognise as someone with great potential, great talent, somebody he knows he could work with, that is why we've signed him. I think it's quite a cheap price. £14 million it works out at. And long term, he signed a deal until 2027. Obviously, he's staying on loan at River Plate until the end of this season at least. But yeah, I think he's a player with great potential and he could become a great player for City in the future. Now, as I've said, it's not just about stats, but we're going to have a look at a few anyway. There is a lot of waffle and complicated stuff on this article, but it's very good to be fair. And this is the main thing that jumps out to me. Here is Julian Alvarez's Argentinian League 2021 last 15 matches, right? 17 goals in 15 matches, first of all. 54 shots. Now, this springs out to me as very good. 9.8 XG, but he scored 17 goals. So he's nearly doubled his XG His expected goals has nearly been doubled by the actual amount of goals he's scored. Now, that is something that really excites me because this guy is somebody that City are going to make a lot of chances for. We make a lot of chances. The amount of times I'm sat in my seat at the Etihad or wherever I am, and I just see a ball fizz across the edge of the box or across the goal line even, and there's just no one there. I occasionally say to myself, that ball there was for Harry Kane. I know we've not signed Harry Kane, but what I'm implying there is that we're making chances for players that we don't even have. And this guy here can convert chances, even difficult chances, with 17 goals from 9.8 XG. So that is really exciting for me, and hopefully he will be a great player for us. What I also think is good about this signing is the fact that City have been monitoring him for a long time, but they've managed to keep it disclosed. Reports first emerged about this potential signing just 10 days ago, and it's taken 10 days for him to actually officially be announced. So, such a short space of time from when the reports emerged, and we've signed him almost in secrecy. So I think that's great from the club. I'm really excited to see what this guy can do. Let's not compare him to Aguero, even though Pep can develop these players very well. But yeah, that was a lot of waffle from me. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, please drop a like, consider subscribing, and leave your thoughts about this signing in the comments section below. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.